How many times have you been out doing some street photography and you've seen somebody whose picture you'd really like to take, but you just couldn't bring yourself to ask them? Well, today we're going to play a game called Just Say No.
Everyone who loves street photography has had the same experience. You see somebody with a great face or a funky outfit and you'd love to take their portrait. But when it comes to approaching them with your camera, it can be hard to summon up the courage. The embarrassment of being told no is enough to put any photographer off the idea of asking for a picture. Here's the funny thing though, when you approach people in the street, you find that far more of them actually say yes. In fact, so many of them say yes that it's actually harder to find people who say no. So try playing our game, Just Say No. The rules are simple. Instead of trying to get people to agree to have their picture taken, the aim of the game is to get people to turn you down. The game is only over when you've successfully found 5 people who say no, by which time you'll have taken dozens of portraits of all the folks who said yes. This will show you just how willing people are to have their picture taken, and it'll give you the confidence to approach strangers because you want them to say no, so being turned down won't make you nervous. Shooting quick-fire street portraits is more about capturing the moment than it is technical accuracy. Legendary New York street photographer Arthur Weegee Felig lived by the mantra f8 and be there, which is as true today as it was back in the 1930s. Shooting at f8 offers enough depth of field to overcome focusing errors, while enabling you to use a fast enough shutter speed to avoid camera shake and blur. Since you feel like you've already bothered somebody enough by asking them for a photo, the tendency can be to rush your pictures. But it can be worth spending a few extra seconds to dial in your settings and get the shot that you really want. Here's our first image, shot using Weegee's f8 principle, capturing the subject exactly as she was standing, looking a bit windswept, as quickly as possible with no direction at all. But then we took another shot, where we took a couple more moments to get exactly what we wanted. By opening the aperture up to f1.8, adjusting the ISO and shutter accordingly, and asking the subject to relax her shoulders and move her back a little bit to show off more of her t-shirt, we got a much more pleasing image. We recommend shooting on an 85mm portrait lens, or even the nifty 50 as it's a solid all-round street shooter. Shooting with a wider aperture to melt the background can really make your portraits pop. Try shooting in black and white too, as this can make your portraits feel more authentic, more gritty, and give them that urban street vibe.
So don't be afraid. Get out there and get asking to take people's pictures. You'll find that they don't just say no. More often than not, they'll actually say yes.